Hey, welcome everyone in this new tutorial. This tutorial will be about Dlsc. It is a new feature in Luxcore. What it is? And so, direct light sampling cache. Dlsc stands for direct light sampling cache. Where to find it? If you open your Blender and switch to Luxcore, go in Luxcore config, and on the light strategy panel you can see direct light sampling cache. And like other algorithms, power, uniform, log power, like this one, it is designed for better light compute and efficiency and specific scene lighting situation. What is it? When to use it? Like over light strategy that you use, if you come on the tooltip, you can see for power, it is used when it samples the light according to the brightness. It is recommended to use it when using a very bright light, something like the sun, together with high poly mesh light with more than 10 triangles. If you switch to uniform light, the tooltip say sample light all light equally, not according to the brightness. And when it is something that cycle is using, and when you come to log power, it is the default light strategy. It's sample light according to the brightness, but waiting for very bright light, not much more than dim light. And it's recommended when using environment light, HDRI, sky, and few small light source. Like this one, you have to use it when the scene, when your render is suited for it. If not, you cannot have any advantages when use it. So let's speak about this typical 3D scene that is suited for direct light sampling cache. Like the tooltips say also for direct light sampling cache, you have to use direct light sampling cache in scene with many light sources if each of them only light up a small part of the scene. Use the Dlsc in scene with many light sources if each of them only light up a small part of the scene. Example, a city at the night. So let's view one city at night. This is a huge, very huge city by night with thousands of light sources. It is this kind of scene that is suited for direct light sampling cache. You have many artificial light, and they are lighting only small parts of the scene, and you can see darkness around and very bright artificial light on the street, on the house, and this kind of scene are very suited for it. You have also scene like this one, a building by night, and Japan Street. If some of you remember, Gleb Alexandrov used to render something like this, a Japan Street, and this is something that Dlsc direct light sampling cache will be suited for. Also, you can use direct light sampling cache when you are render something like an exterior by night, simple house with artificial light and dark sky. You can use it in interior scene by night with also artificial light. And when you are trying to render small light source like LED or you are doing some neon art on your wall. So this is it. How to use it? If you open your Luxcore, your blend file, and switch it to direct light sampling cache like this, you will notice that you have two main parameters: entry radius and warm-up sample. By default, they are set it to 15 centimeter, and the warm-up sample is set to 12 sample. So there are also some advanced settings, some normal angle, max pass, but most of the time these two one are enough to have a good render. So how to set these two number. So let's come back. Okay, if we come on the tooltip for each of those settings, we can read that choose this value according to the size of your scene. The default is 15 centimeter. It is suited for a room size scene. A room size scene like this one. Okay, but when you hear a room size scene, you have to bear in mind, it is very important that it is the parts of the scene viewed by your camera. It is not the entire size of your blender scene. It is the part of the scene viewed by the current camera. So if the size of the scene viewed by your camera have something like this as a size, then you should use something like 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter, 15 centimeter. It is likely to be enough. But if in the same scene, we suppose that you are running this view in this building and you use your 10 centimeter, it is great. But if now you have another camera in the same scene, or it is another scene, and the part of the scene viewed by the camera is huge like this, then you should go for very great number, something like tens of meter. So you can understand that it is very relative to the size of the scene viewed by the camera. If also you have a very tiny scene like this one, like a late scene with real world scale, I mean, then you should use something little less than 10 centimeters, something like 1 or maybe something like 5 millimeter, I mean. So it is these settings is relative to the size of the scene viewed by the camera. Okay, let's go for the second settings, warm-up sample. And when you see what we read in the tooltip, they say increase this value if splotchy artifacts appear in the image. But you have to understand, when splotchy appear in the image, splotchy will appear in the image if the number entered are not suited for the scene difficulty. So let's explain. If light in your scene are easy to render, like this, here I makes a crop section of a room. You have a window here and 5 suspended light source, and they are easy to reach, easy to read from the camera. So easy to find light source and no hidden remote background light source. Then you have to use something like 10 centimeter or 64 like warm-up sample, so it will work. If light source is easy to use, you can reduce the warm-up sample. But contrary, if the light source is very hard to reach, this is the case in this example. You have another cross-section of a room, a two-level room. You have a window here on the upper level and a window here in the floor level, and you can see a curve, a blue curve here representing the HDRI or a flat color background. But the camera hardly reach this light information about the background, and it's not also easy for the camera to read all light here, all these 5 suspended light and this one. So as the light outside or the light inside are not easy to read, if you use something like 10 or 64 warm-up sample, you get some splotches, some bright or some very dark parts splotchy on your walls. But if you want to erase these problems, you have to increase your warm-up sample to something like 100 to or something like 1000, like I do here. But what kind of results you can have? So I have made a render here, 2 render, one with direct light sampling cache. It is this one. I use Dlsc on this one, and on this one I just use log power, Dlsc versus log power, Dlsc log power. So on this end that you can see here, I just have an area light and some small bubble light here, and you also have light on this part. Okay, a red light here. Okay, so you have 10 of small light source and a small background, but it's not hard to reach as it is an area light, so it is easy to read for the camera. So on this one I use the settings 10 cm because the scene size viewed by my camera is not that huge, it is very small, so I use 10 cm, and I increase my warm-up sample to something like 64, okay, or something like 32 must be enough for this scene. And what I get is this. Okay, this one is for the log power render. Took me 12 minutes to render for both, and you can see on the log power one you have a blurry light reflection here, blurry here also, and you have some noise on the wood. You have noise, not very well defined. But if we switch to the Dlsc render, you can really see that there is a very well defined reflection, light reflection here and also here. You can compare no Dlsc, blurry, Dlsc very fine, same amount of render. And you can see also the wood here, not very well defined. You don't have all light information, but if you switch to Dlsc, you can see there is light information everywhere, well defined here. Okay, you see here you don't have it on the log power render, no info, light info, and here light info. It is more realistic, less noisy, and beautiful. So you can see if I zoom in, there is more light information, less blurry. But if I take the low power render, you can see there is noise everywhere. Noise, no light information on the light and the contact of the wood. And here you can see reflection are blurry. The floor also have noise everywhere, as you can see. Okay, so you can use it on all render. I'm also doing another render. You can see here. Let me show you. On the desktop, I'm making another render. Let me find it. Okay, this one. Okay, it is not yet finished, but just to show you that you can also use it here in scene like this. It is very interesting, so I can open it for you just to let you see. Lugano. Wait a minute, and we see, oh, Blender crash. So we try again. Don't have it here. Lugano. Wait a minute, let's Blender open the file. Okay, this is the sun. Okay, a scene like this one is very suitable for Dlsc. If I switch to to render, viewport render, you can see all my lighting setup. Take a little bit of time to compare. Excuse me, but we have to wait, be patient. The scene is huge, but here we are. So you can see, okay, it is a single house by night with dark sky and some artificial light inside. So it is very suitable for direct light sampling cache, but you will not get direct light sampling cache in your viewport if you switch to it. The default is log power. Okay, so you get it like this. Let me switch to bidirectional rendering here, and here you see, okay, you can switch also to bidirectional rendering for the viewport render. See, it is very different. If I switch to Metropolis, okay, then it is easy to turn around. I can make it a bit more easy by, we also have these new settings, edit pixel size. Okay, you can read size of the startup block in pixel. The size of 4 means that one sample is spread over 4 to 4 pixels on the startup. So if I increase it by something like 16, then look like it doesn't work in bidirectional. So let me stop this. But you understand, we have two kind of setting for Dlsc. Okay, two setting: entry radius according to the size of the scene viewed by the camera and warm-up sample. Thank you for watching this tutorial and see you for the next time.